Alright, this is my solution for the lesson number 100 to make a class for our servos that we have created. So here you can see that this is just a demonstration file. Up here I am importing from my own class file some servo where I just set up the class for the servos, and then here this is how it works. I just provide the class with the state machine number and the pin that the servo is attached to, and that will create the proper object and allow me to perform the appropriate methods on it. So this file is just gonna first make my server 1 just change to 180, server 2 to change to 180, and together they'll go back to 0, just proving that they can work separately and in tandem. Down below I just have a command set to deactivate them to make sure that everything exits cleanly. A lot of the code in here is going to look very similar to what we've already seen. The only thing that's different is that I have created the kind of class structure, so I just named mine SM servo, state machine servo. You have to define your initial parameters, and the two things I really cared about were the state machine number and the pin that was attached to my servo. For this to work, I had to import RP2, machine pin, and time. I probably could get rid of time. I think I was using that elsewhere for testing. Anyways, just assigning those parameters to the attributes of this object, and so after that we just we go right into the actual running of the the same setup we did for the state machine in the previous file. It's just being done under this initial object. So letting it know that there's PIO code coming. This is the same code for setting the pulse width and keeping it at a certain frequency. Down here I instantiate my state machine and I activate it. The only thing I really did differently is I added in two methods. I added the method to set the angle, so that way I can just, as you saw in the previous file, I could just say set angle and give it the number. Whereas here, and all that dirty work of doing all the calculations is done here instead. The deactivate is just a way for me to cleanly turn the state machine off, or not really cleanly, but just to make it look nice. There is another more bulky way to do that, but I just thought that this looked better. And down here I just had some test code to make sure that this was all working. So that's it. There's my class.